Welcome back to Emerald Mox. Today I'm going to go over a 7-0 draft that I recently did. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to record it, so I'll go over the untapped data instead and just go the play-by-play that they have available. So I'll go over the draft, and then I'll go over the gameplay and try to point out some of the decisions I made and how things could have gone differently if I didn't make the decisions that I did. So I think that'll be fun. So maybe stick around, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and let's get into it. There is 7 wins and 0 losses. Here I have a Simic deck. You can see that I've already picked one, the Mechan Engineer. Solid card. It's one of the best uncommons in the set, so pretty easy pick over Tanic or the Galactic Wayfarer, even though Galactic Wayfarer is a very high pick. Alpha Rael might have been another choice here, but Biomechan is the pick. And here, this pack is loaded with goodies. Night Luminary, Edge Rover, Specimen Freighter, Vote Out, Gravkill, a lot of good stuff. But Galactic Wayfarer beats all of them out, in my opinion. So that's where I went there. The 3 on the bottom here are pretty enticing. All of these uncommons kind of suck. I went with the Blooming Stinger. Here, Seed Ship Impact over Weft Blade Enhancer. Well, not over, because I'd rather pick one of these, but this is probably the second best card in the pack is what I'm getting at. Hemo Symbic Might ended up being the pick for me here, but in hindsight, I think Cryo Shatter might have been the correct decision. Ilvoy Infiltrator, pretty easily over Germinating Worm and definitely over Shattered Wings. Otherwise, not much else in my colors. Nanoform Sentinel is so-so. Here, again, not much in my colors. I just go Whale, and we're getting to the last little packs here. It's nice to pick up the Seed Ship Impact at this point for pick 8. Another Whale pretty easily here. Yeah, this is just the end of the pack. Oops. So yeah, Whale. I think Specimen Freighter. Yeah. Curiosity. Mental Modulation. All right, let's get to pack 2. So this was first time opening an Ice Till Explorer in draft, and I was very tempted to take it. I was also looking at the Vanishing Light, thinking like, man, this is premium removal in the set. Do I splash, go into white, drop the blue maybe, or do 3 colors, something? But no, I had a weird idea to get Lost in Space as removal. Thought I was being smart, but whatever. Didn't matter. It's funny to see Tanic again, and it got passed, so that's pointing to it not being a very good card in draft. Made me feel better about not picking it. Pick 1, pack 1. So this pack is pretty good. There's a Vote Out and a Seam Rip, but I went with the Seed Ship Impact for the 3rd time. Is that the 3rd one I've picked? Yeah. Hey, it's that good. There's a lot of artifacts running around in the set, so I questioned it for a second, but I was like, I just have to, Here, this is where it gets a little interesting, because I saw the Bombard and the Invasive Maneuvers. I said, people are passing these premium removal spells in red. Maybe red's more open than I thought. Maybe drop the blue. So that's the idea here. And then a Plasma Bolt, or the Orbital Plunge actually is what I ended up picking. So it's kind of a pivot at this point. 2 good removal spells. Wormhole Sweeper, just nothing else really excites me in this pack. Maybe the Brood Tender if I was in the right colors, but I'm not going to splash for that. Here, it's going to be the Psionicist because it's amazing. I mean, especially in the deck that I'm building at this point. So snap pick there. I don't think this pick even matters. Command Bridge or something. Oh, Technician. Yeah. I think I pick up Cryo Shatter here. Yeah. Yep, nothing important. There's the command bridge that I picked up. Drix Fate Maker, I was happy to see one of these. Yeah, none of these cards are getting played. Maybe the Illvoy Operative gets played, but on to pack 3. Beyond the Quiet, oh my god. If you can pick up a Wrath and Limited, you should always grab it if you can make it work. But with Beyond the Quiet being a double white spell, I really didn't want to commit to a third color. So pretty easily Cryogen Relic here. It's just amazing in draft, and I already have 3 Seed Ship Impacts. So you could go the Diplomatic Relations for another removal spell, but this pack is looking pretty good. There's some goodies in green, maybe some blue stuff, but the Gene Pollinator, I just love having early 1-drops, things to do early, get on the board, make sure your opponent can't just steamroll you with aggro or something. Mouth of the Storm, this card always impresses me. I love it. You can slap it on the table, swing all out with little to no fear that your opponent's going to do much on the backswing because it keeps their guys small all the way until your next turn. So even if they have a big board, but you take all the little 2/2s and 3/1s and shrink them all down, and then you swing out, their guys can't even do much damage against your guys swinging, so even if they have blockers, you might end up killing them. It's just very, very bad for the opponent when they see this card on your side of the board. So that was a snap pick. I think I go the Cave Crasher or Cryo Shatter. I'm not sure. Yeah, the Crasher. I think I needed more 4-drops at this point. Another Seed Ship Impact versus Drix Fate Maker. So that's like 5 that I could have had at this point. Kind of funny. Here, I like to see the Pinnacle Kill Ship coming late. You always want to get one of those in your deck. Oh, the Glacier Godma. Bro. God, looking out for me, bro. Giving me this bomb of an uncommon. Man, always pick those. Always, always, always jam it if you can. So there's that. Another Gene Pollinator, I think, over the Curiosity. It's just slightly, not slightly, it's a lot better. Another Impact, just what else am I going to pick there? I don't think I even run all 4 of them, but we go Thawbringer here. Yeah, that's a solid 3-drop. Another Curiosity, Drill 2 Deep, and the Mental Modulation. So that's it for the draft. So you can see this is the finalized deck list, and you can see the cards that I didn't choose from it. This is just a screenshot, so I can't really interact with this at all. But I just wanted to show you guys kind of the decisions I made, what I left out. Like I said, the Hemosimic Might didn't really make the cut. One of the Sammy's Curiosities. The Seed Ship Impact, number 4, didn't make it, unfortunately. The Sweeper was kind of a last-minute cut that I was like, It's a good card, but it's not doing anything specifically that I need. So I went 1 whale as opposed to both. Kind of the top end here, Mouth of the Storm, Glacier Godma. Those are the cards I want to see the most. Pinnacle Kill Ship will be a great removal spell when I need it and possibly turn on. I don't think it does ever, but sometimes it does. Lost in Space, I kept that in, which is nice to see. So for removal, it's kind of like Cryo Shatter, 3 Seed Ship Impacts, although those don't kill creatures, which is just crazy in this draft to me, that this card can be so good and Shattered Wings is so bad. But hey, it makes a lander. If that's all the difference you need, I guess. Yeah, it makes sense. I don't know what am I to say. Other than that, there's like the Lost in Space and then the Pinnacle Kill Ship. So not the most removal, kind of less than what I'd normally see. So this would be match 1. Turn 1, just lay the land, pass, the opponent, draw, they lay a land, draw, land. I'm going to lead on the Mechan here because it provides the lander token, so I just thought, get the value, try to push the advantage while you can if you're on turn 1, because then I can curve out and get the Psionicist out next. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. The opponent, they go on land, and I draw, lay my land, and Gene Pollinator is like maybe here, but nah. Let's just slam the Psionicist. Not even think about it. Okay, so they Cryo Shatter my Psionicist, and that is not really effective against it because its value is making cards cost less. Oh, and then I can Seed Chip impact it and swing, basically negating what they did on their turn, providing myself with a lot of value, and I'm holding up the lander just to ramp myself out into the mouth of the storm one turn earlier. Perfect, draw the specimen, and now I just don't want to lose to a board wipe, so I hold back. They have the Seed Ship. So I crack my lander. I have a bunch of lands now. And I draw the Drix Fatemaker. This is feeling pretty good. Oh yeah, and I only ran 16 lands. So Drix Fatemaker hits the board. I boost my Psionicist. I swing for 5. Opponent goes down to 5. And they're going to need a miracle here. So the Lash Whip Predator isn't really going to do much for them. I just slam the Specimen Freighter, return that to its hand, swing in for 5. So that was match 1, guys. Pretty quick. It's aggressive and controlling at the same time. Pretty nice. Opponent might have flooded out. I'm not sure. They were trying to get the Sledge Class Seed Ship online, and I think that's just a bad idea on their part. It didn't work, apparently. So that was game 1. Let's go on to game 2. All right, so I got game 2 here. All right, so here I am for game 2. Yeah, and I'm in a different spot as before, so I've been messing with the recording area or whatever. We can see here I draw some Gene Pollinators, which is great. 2 of them in my opening hand with 3 lands means a pretty quick start for myself. So we go and double spell actually Gene Pollinator into Drix Fatemaker, get a 1/1 counter, which actually proves to be very useful throughout the match. Now I get the Ice Cave Crusher after the opponent gets the Lightless Evangel. And I just pass. And we see the opponent is struggling with mana, so they pass as well. I get the Sammy's Curiosity and a Blooming Stinger down. And then I offer the trade, and they take it. The Death Touch Trample made it not even... Death Touch Trample didn't really help there because it only had 1 defense, but otherwise it would have been good. You have to do at least 1 damage with Death Touch to kill the thing. So back to me. Opponent missed a land drop again. I draw the land, I think. Lay it, lay the Infiltrator, tap the Lander token for no reason. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. Swing with the Gene Pollinator. Do some damage. Oops, I'm scrolled down too far. Opponent down to 15. And so they lay their 3rd land. And I draw a Psionicist, which I want to hold up to get 2 spells off. I hit them for 2 more down to 13. They draw a card, lay up planes, so that tells me they're 3 colors. I draw the Galactic Wayfarer and swing with these 2, the Blooming Stinger and the Gene Pollinator. They use the Radiant Strike. Why is this not working anymore? So they kill my guy, and they lay the Starbreach Whale. They warp it in to get some Surveil going on. And then it leaves. I draw the Mouth of the Storm, lay the Psionicist and the Drix Fatemaker in the same turn. feeling pretty happy with that. Get my Infiltrator unblockable, draw another card, swing with the Gene Pollinator. That is just good value there, if you ask me. Alright, they use a Depressurize on my Infiltrator, which I'm pretty happy to see them using it on that and not something like, I don't know, a Psionicist. Okay, so they double block Psionicist to get rid of it. It's not the worst thing to see, but somehow, oh, I laid the Galactic Wayfarer or something, got the lander, and lay the land. Ooh, and now I draw the Biomechan Engineer, which is interesting. So I lead on that, and then I can do the lander token, I guess. So I was thinking Alpha Rail comes down, draws them some cards. They're kind of hitting their land drops at this point. So it's definitely not over, but with the Mouth of the Storm in my hand and the Biomechan on the field, it's feeling pretty good for me. So they're going to get the Scour for scrap and get their defender back. I use the Mechan to get a robot and draw a card. Draw a couple lands, lay land, lay the Mouth of the Storm, swing in. They go down to 4, I think. Down to 1. They go to Hardlight Containment. I say, nah, I'm going to Seed Ship Impact your Monoist. And they say, good enough for me. They've had enough. They give up. I get that victory. So that's how game 2 went. All right, so we have game 3 here. Just hit play. Starting off with a Biomechan in hand is always a good feeling, so that's probably why I kept here. Being on the play also helps. Lead on the forest. Opponent has the island. They have the cool swagger type island like me, so love to see it. Opponent's got style. We're killing it here. Biomechan Engineer. Ooh, and they flashed in the Gale Blade. So they do have something to do on their turn 1, surprisingly enough. But my turn 2 is a lot better than what they've got so far. So they swing in for 1. You know, what am I supposed to do? I just take it. And I say GG's because I drew the land. Not drew the land, but I got the land. I got the Thawbringer. We're doing things here. Basically just wanted to surveil. And I think I surveilled the Galactic Wayfarer to the top. So then the Mechanozoa just to tap my stuff down for a turn. They swing in. But they know they're in dire straits. Like, Mechanozoa is a temporary solution. Now that I draw my Galactic Wayfarer, I don't know if that's what I actually drew, but swing in. Get them down to 16 here. They go and swing with their 1/1 for whatever reason. It's pretty odd. Okay, now they draw with it. They didn't hit the land, which I'm sure they needed. And just swing for 6. Like, this is pretty just mean at this point. They're not drawing lands. I just got 6 damage on the board. It's going to be 2 turns, and this is over. Yeah, I mean, you can see on the amount of time left, it's just a short game. Opponent kind of got mana screwed. They, I think, are in white as well. Yeah, so they bounce my 4/2 just to stay alive, to stem the bleeding as much as possible. And they missed a land. Oh, there's the plains. So yeah, they get the Mechan down. I'm like, cool, but I got the Lost in Space, so sorry. Yeah, they just scooped because I was going to swing in for 5. So that was game 3. Move on to game 4 now. Here we are with game 4. And let's see, I start off with an okay hand. The Gene Pollinator on 1 is definitely good to see. Pass it to the opponent. They got a land of some sort? Yes, there's the mountain. The mountain. Alright, back to me. I draw, I get the land out, I get the Sammy's Curiosity, and I start Breach Whale. So that's like double spelling. Turn 2. It's always good, I'm telling you. Even if it doesn't seem like I did that much, I surveilled, I got the lander. You know, things had been done. They got the pangolin. Interesting. But I got Seed Ship Impact whenever I need to. Ice Cave Crasher. So I'm just out aggroing the red deck. You know, turn 3, 4/4 with trample. Boom, get after me. Cryogen Relic. They pump the pangolin, which is a good move on their part, but I don't think it'll be enough because my 4/4 just swings in. Well, and I destroy the impact, get in for an extra. Oh no, I use the mana to get the biomechan down and just dump my hand. Just start taking this game over. You know, apply pressure, flood the board with everything you can. That's what green wants to do. Alright, so they tap down my guy, or keep him tapped, and put a stun counter on him with the relic. And then they have a shield mate, which is not the best card that you want at this point. I draw into the Ilvoy Operative. Don't do anything, I just pass because I'm white on lands and I don't want them to turn the corner, board wipe me. So that is very good, going from 3 to 5 lands. And they kill my guy. But wait, what happened there? Kill my guy. I get the Drix Fate Maker. Evoked him or whatever that is. They get another pangolin down. I swing it in. Oh wait, I used the Ilvoid to tap for the Gene Pollinator. Swing in for 4 here. They block. Trade. They're still at 16, so it's not like I'm running away with this. They make a 2/2 with their ore thing. Oh, they go to kill my engineer. And I use it one more time. Draw a card. That probably puts me far enough ahead to win at this point. Block the 2/2 on the 2/2. Just preserve board state as much as possible. Not preserve, but just take out whatever I can of theirs. So the Seed Ship Impact is going to do a lot here. Get rid of either of those that I don't want to see anymore. Pangolin is probably the right answer always in that case when it's bigger. But if it was smaller, maybe still use it on that, depending on how many cards they had in their hand. But Specimen Freighter takes my board away, but could be worse. It's still 12 to 16. And I lay the Thawbringer, the Fate Maker, and opponent just scoops, I think. Something. They lay a Sweeper. And then another Steel Swarm Operator, and they just scooped. So this was kind of an early scoop on the opponent. Like, this game wasn't over at all. I'm at 12, they're at 16. Like, yes, they have 1 card and I have 3, but alright, that's it for the first 4 games. I got 3 more here. Here we are with game 5. I'll start off. And before anything else, yeah, so 2 lands. I guess I kept thinking, draw the land, I'll be good. And obviously never didn't have it. Come on now, you know who's talking? This guy. This guy that always has it, at least in this draft. When I went 7-0, bro. Alright, so yeah, there's the land, just like I said. So we get the whale, which was going to give me a surveil 2 anyway. So it wasn't the worst decision to keep this in retrospect. Opponent has a island, and they got the Illboy Galeblade. Very not presumptuous of them. Slam the Galactic Wayfarer for my play of the turn. Pass it back to the opponent. Ooh, they have an Illboy Infiltrator. They swing with the Galeblade, I think. Pause. Why does this randomly pause? Yeah, so they swing with the Galeblade, take me down to 19. It's my turn. I don't draw a land, so I think I crack the lander token. That's what I would do off the top of my head. And swing for 3. Yeah, hold up the lander, maybe the seed ship if I need it. They swing for 4, and they draw a card because they double spelled. And the Enhancer, that card is really good. I haven't really used it much myself, but it always comes to do some damage against me, it seems. So here I go, Psionicist into Infiltrator, get the double spell, swing with the Wayfarer, and I'm right back into this game. Take them down to 14 while I'm at 15. They lay a land. They're kind of hitting every land they need to. They use a Disculpting Blast to send my Psionicist back to my hand. They'll get in for 4. They draw a card. I can't block either of them because they double spelled, laying the Pulsar Squadron Ace as well. So I go and just pass, drawing the Lost in Space, I think, or the Seed Ship Impact. I have 3 Seed Ship Impacts, which is wild. Seeing these artifacts, it's nice to have targets for the impact at this point. So they go to swing. I Lost in Space because I know I can do an impact on their turn and swing in if I need. They get me down to 9, which is not where you want to be. And I draw a Cryogen Relic, get the impact down, swing in for 1, draw a card, pass the turn. They have another land. They Seam Rip my Cryogen Relic, which is kind of questionable, but not many other targets for it, I suppose. They hit something with the Rescue Skiff. They get the Mechan back and cast it, yeah. They don't sacrifice anything. They swing in. It's looking dire. It's like, what am I going to do here? Oh, yeah, I have 3 Seed Ship Impacts in this deck and 2 more in hand. Get the Thawbringer down, swing in for 4, get them down to 9. I'm at 7. It's still a close race here, and I'm holding up an impact. And if I hit a land next turn with the Mouth of the Storm, it will be good enough to call it there. They crew up the Rescue Skiff, and I just kill it with the Seed Ship Impact, which is pretty devastating. Opponent probably shouldn't have done that. It's just they left themselves wide open. They get the Weftblade Enhancer down, distribute some 1/1 counters, but it might be too little too late at this point. So I double spell, I get the Operative and the Whale down, get in for 1, draw a card, and hold up a Seed Ship Impact and a Cryo Shatter. I debated for a while if I should Cryo Shatter, and I ended up doing it, and I feel like it was the right move. Obviously, in hindsight, I won, so it must have been the right move. Here I block. Pretty dumb attack for them. Even though they get a 4/4, I'm still just going to crash in. Draw the land. This was probably the scariest moment in the draft if I didn't draw the land there. Yeah, get the Mouth of the Storm down, swing all in. They can't really do much. They can't swing back. All their stuff's small. It was a very good end to the game here for me. So yeah. I mean, they just can't do anything. Their guy has -2. They won't even draw the card from swinging. So they just, I guess they let me swing in. Or no, they scoop right before I swing in. Cool. Um, yeah, they had a Final Fantasy planes, and all the rest of their planes were Bloomborough. I'm not going to say that's why they lost, but coincidence? I don't know. We'll move on to game 6 here. So with game 6, we start off with this hand of 3 lands, an Illinois Infiltrator, like a 2, 3, 4 kind of drops. You know, it'd be nice to draw a 1-drop here or something, but opponent goes first. It's a rarity of this draft for me because it seems like I went first every other time so far. So I lay the land, pass the turn. They got the Illinois Operative out. They pass back. I draw a Drix Fate Maker. I don't know, something. Land, yeah. Lay the land, pass the turn. They have a whale. They're going to surveil some. I can't remember if they kept top or bottom. But they swing in for 2, take me down to 18. I lay my Infiltrator. Pass back to them. They have the Lightless Evangel. And I Cryo Shatter my Infiltrator. I can still block, so absorb 3 damage. Back to me. I lay a land. I get the Crasher down. I figure a 4/4 will stop whatever they have, or they have to use removal. You know, removal would be pretty tough because I'd take some damage, but... Alright, so they have a Mechan that sacrifices itself to draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on this guy. Okay, got it. And when they cast their second spell, they draw a card. So they're swinging in. I chump block. Alright, get a relic down. Thawbringer. Pass the turn. They get the nutrient block down. And I just laugh to myself, like, what did you draft? Why are you doing this? But maybe they're a Blood Artist type deck. So they counter my spell, is that right? Must be. Yeah, so they're holding up counter spell. I think I'm being smart, laying the Freighter, gonna bounce some stuff to their hand. They say, nah, dude, I'm counter that. Blue says nope, as per usual. I'm swinging for 4. You know, I'm saying if you're countering my stuff, I'm gonna apply pressure. They apparently took 4. They laid the Mechan, sacrifice the nutrient block, get the 1/1 counter, draw a card. It is very good stuff they have going on over here. They swing in for 4, which is scary. Take me down to 14. And I draw the Seed Ship Impact. I use it on their Mechan. I swing in for 4 after I get... Or no, I swing in for 5 after I get the 1/1 counter, the Drix Fate Maker on the field. And hold up Seed Ship Impact. So... Oh, no, I use Cryogen Relic to keep their guy tapped down. That is a nice little move. Move there. They have a Sweeper and a Mecha Navigator that is used to station the Sweeper. They pass to me, and they're down to 11 with a 5 banger hitting them. 6. So they're going to go down to 5. And they get pretty hard for themselves to win at this point with the Cryo Shatter hitting the Lightless Evangel. and holding up Seed Ship Impact for next turn to potentially get rid of their artifact creature or their spacecraft or now their Monoist Circuit Feeder on Drix Fate Maker, right? Or is that? Yeah. So they get rid of that, boost their guy up to 5. They swing in. I go down to 9. I draw something. I get rid of their Monoist. Get another trample on my Thawbringer. Swing in for 7 trample. They take 3. The Cryo Shatter goes to the graveyard. And they try to piece it together with an Alpha Royale and a Comet Crawler that kind of gives them life with the life link, but then I just Pinnacle Killship to kill it and swing in for lethal with the 7 trample damage. So that was game 6. Here we go with game 7 here. This is for all the marbles, all the glory. Can I seal the deal with the 7-0 win? So starting off with 3 lands, the Biomech and Engineer, Cryo Shatter. This hand is looking juicy. Lead with an island. And pass the turn. They have a plains. They pass back to me. I draw a land. Lay the land, get the Biomechan down early. Don't want them. It gives you a lander token. I figure that is reason enough. If it was just a late game bomb, maybe hold it back. But the lander token, get that going. They have a Sunstar Expansionist, so me going first was good for them. I don't know. I get the 3rd land down. Get my Infiltrator going. Pass the turn. They draw. And ooh, they have the Requiem Monolith. They get a use out of it here. Draw 1 card. They go to swing, I think. No, they just pass. So it's nice for me. I have the Seed Ship Impact, which I just use after the Psionicist because obviously you want to get the value. And the double spell for the Infiltrator. So I get the card draw there. It's just looking good for here. Yeah. They have a depressurize to get rid of my Infiltrator to stop the card draw, but I already drew 1, which is oftentimes enough to get your value worth. I need more than that, and it's just gravy. I drew another land here, which I'm happy to see, actually. So now I get the Drix Fate Maker warped in, I believe. Or I guess, yeah. So it disappears. And I Sammy's Curiosity to get the other lander token, gain some life. I'm up to 22. They have the Night Luminary and an Insatiable Skittermaw. They get the 1/1 counter. I don't know why it paused here. Swing in for 3 on their part, take me down to 19. And their stuff. End step triggers. I get the lander token off. Untap, draw the Gene Pollinator. Get that down while I can. Get the Drix Fate Maker. Give himself the 1/1 counter. Swing in. They have an Honor. And then a Hall Carver. This is going pretty fast here. Night Luminary. I pass it back to me. I crack my lander again. Draw a land. Now I have enough lands to do the 8 mana Biomechan loop. Not really a loop, but just solid value every turn. Sunstar Expansionist. Triggers. They get the Vel Grab Ship. They swing in, I block. I don't know why they did that. Pretty goofy thing. Oh yeah, they just wanted the trajectory. But at this point, I'm just going to start drawing cards and making dudes, and it seems pretty sealed up at this point, being at 19, and they have one card. So I Cryo Shatter their Fell Grav Ship. Pass the turn. Don't really have any good attacks here. I want to keep my Fate Maker. They have an Honor on the Skittermaw to bring it to a 6/6, and then another Night Luminary. They swing in with the 6/6. I make a 2/2 and draw a card. I double block just to get rid of it. I know if I keep making a 2/2 every turn and drawing a card, inevitably I will come out on top. So as long as I don't draw removal for my Mechan, I'm feeling comfortable. So at this point, I lay the Galactic Wayfarer, get the Lander. They have another Night Luminary, which is wild. I know they had two. They got double summoned, or they warped both. Blah, 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 blah. I get the Biomechan, draw the whale, get the whale down. I would rather just have it on the field permanently than warp it, so I just hard cast it. Yeah, no good attacks here. Pass the turn. Opponent draws a card. It's a rescue skiff, which actually gets them back a Seam Rip, which is able to get rid of one of my robots, but that's not too relevant. Then they have a big attack, or oh, they're crewing or stationing their vehicle. So they crew the skiff, station the skiff, whatever you want to call it. So basically, from what I can tell, I mean, this whole playback at this point is messed up. I think I get the Crasher down or something, get Mouth of the Storm, and then Blooming Stinger to give this guy Death Touch and Trample and lower all their stuff. So at this point, I just swing, and they can't really block effectively. I mean, they can block, but none of my stuff's really going to die. They go down to 3. They can't swing at me. And they just don't have any good options here. So now I just swing overhead with my flyers, destroy their one flyer. So that was the full 7-0 run, guys. Hit the like button. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. It's fun to play Arena and do drafts, so I think I'll start doing more of this.